Hello YouTube, I have very exciting news for my channel. It has turned out that my favorite anime, called Geass, Lelouch the Rebellion, will be having a dramatic stage play that will take place in 2026 that will go all the way back to 2023. Yes, it's definitely true, it's definitely very true. And also the Lisa project will be underwater until more government regulation where it comes to K-pop and Tim Chancharangu. Okay, so anyway, this is breaking down the almighty biggest debate in anime history, Light Yagami versus Lelouch. Many people have theorized about it, many people literally have summoned about it. Even King of Lightning make the video about Death Note versus Geass, but not specifically Lelouch versus Light. So this video revolves around will Light figure out that Lelouch's last name is Lamprouje. Now I haven't finished Death Note specifically, but I know how the power system and how the series plans out, especially with L dying along with Light at the very end of the series. Now, there's one thing I know about, Death Note is that, contrary to your belief, they both have, demon summonings. Light has Ryuk, and Lelouch actually has CC. CC's ability is to be immortal. Now, why didn't he use CC, ever, where it came to a strategy, knowing Suzaku Kuruki stabbed him in the end using Shadow Clone and Fake and fooled it for over 20 years. Well, that's the flaw in anime that I figured out over time. And Lelouch, never used her immortality as a strategy. But it will start off with just like Kira, Zero would be a rumor that is spread throughout the Death Note history book. And how we would recognize it is that Zero would probably have to do speeches like how he would normally do the news, and Light would have to figure out about it. Lelouch would probably say something like, "Obey me subjects, obey me world." Light would look at the TV and disagree. Whether he would team up with L is subjective for this video because L would probably have his own secret agenda. Probably team up with Zero in order to take him down. Zero's name is unknown, literally, so Light knows that he's no master of Gundams or Zero's military ability, but Light can't hack the military mainframe to figure out Lelouch's past. Now, another key fact in this video is whether he'll figure out that Lelouch's name is Lelouch v Britannia. How does that transfer over to the Death Note universe? I literally get a mirage that none of this happening in the anime community, even throughout all the Slack chats. And one of my best friends, Christopher, aka we call him Steezo, still hasn't, made this theory yet. And he is the biggest Light Yagami fan. So who Lelouch uses Geass on, literally on the way, to full Light? L, Lelouch can, easily use his Geass on L and hack, Light's database in order to bring him down. Give me more information about Light Yagami. And easily fuck him up. There's also the fact that literally L would have to fight, Suzaku side by side, and the L guard would not be able to take on Suzaku's military strength. So L, versus Suzaku side by side isn't happening. But Light still has a legitimate chance, depending on literally how desperate he is in order to get Lelouch's name in the notebook. And what Ryuk is going to do for in the meantime, since he can actually, fool Ryuk. And Nier, I don't care about, their substance at this point. It's honestly their equivalent to Rival. But the truth of the matter is, Geass goes hand in hand with Light Yagami, and it is hate throughout the entire anime community because most people think straight, and Geass is colorful. The reason why that is because Geass' strategy, Lelouch's strategy, is based off something inner with himself with conflictions. Literally, if Light Yagami is actually based off real chess games. Literally, you read your move versus you read my move. Lelouch is the one who actually plays chess. Equal. The only difference they tell you is that Lelouch goes around. Light breaks somebody down. So in doing so, literally, his father Charles V. Britannia literally defeats Lelouch in the first season. Whether or not he's out to get him is, the fact of the matter. This video, if they're both, tied, I think what's gonna most likely happen, Light is gonna play these moves carefully and not fall for Lelouch's trap. Ignore his Gundams, he's gonna, find his way, around the Gundams. The biggest aspect that can happen in this video is that Lelouch can use his Geass on Light Yagami himself and put Light Yagami's name in a notebook. But overall, I think what realistically should happen is that it's a big total road to figure out who versus who is. Lelouch will put his name in a notebook eventually. So continue into the fight. Light won't be fooled that easily. And he will be on Lelouch's tail, just like he memorized and tracked down Ray Pember. And Lelouch would be on to him, but whether or not he's able to contact his younger brother Rolo, will also, be a big factor in Light, and where this takes place, before Lelouch gets defeated versus after 2-year time skip is really a thing. So the match, is obviously, us imagining, them reading each other's movements all the way to the point where something, climactic happens. What's more important is the fact that literally how does Lelouch get, light off his tail when it comes to recognizing his identity. So so good he might have to, sacrifice his sea in order to get to light. The location, however, is freaky for his video, not Light's mom or anything. For the location, because Geass takes place in Britain. I'd have to say overall, Lily, you'd have to sacrifice multiple criminals, but I think Lelouch would take the cake. But the biggest, aspect, Lily, is the fall, characteristic of, Light, changing his name from Lelouch and proves to Britannia. This step knows in psychological warfare, Light, could, try to get Suzaku. If he was, already labeled, Japanese. We're still both labeled Japanese. If Light can figure out Lily through Suzaku, Lelouch's best friend, how to get his last name, he's done. However, Lelouch would already, keep distant. When it comes to calling Kozuki, he hunts him down for days, and all takes place with the incognito Zero. How do I get to Zero? How do I get to Zero? And Suzaku may not know, that Zero and Lelouch are the same person. But overall, my prediction is, originally, as you expected, Lelouch kills Light before he can get to Lamprouje.